Hey everyone, welcome to Angel 7 Studios. Today we'll be discussing the origins of the Bible. The Bible has the New Testament and the Old Testament. Everybody knows this. But what a lot of people don't understand is that the Roman Catholic Church is the single authority that put the Bible together. The Bible did not exist before the Roman Catholic Church put it together. Some people confuse the Old Testament as the Bible, but that is not the Bible. That's only half the Bible. To pull out the Old Testament is like taking out, A through M out of the alphabet and calling it the alphabet. So here we're discussing about what is the Bible and when did it enter humanity as the Christian Bible. So Christianity started after Jesus. Before Jesus, there was no Christianity. It's as simple as that. Now that after Jesus, a few people decided to spread the word, and after about 300 years later, they compiled a compilation of stories that sort of bring together the identity of Christianity. And this is what we refer to as the New Testament. Now, in order for people to understand the New Testament, they had to compile the Old Testament so that there was a understanding from the New to the Old, because there's so many references in the New Testament that many people just didn't understand, because it came from another culture which had many parallels from what we know today as the Old Testament. So, when the Roman Empire decided to make Christianity an official religion within the Roman Empire, they had to sort of bring a single unity, a single understanding of Christianity. And before the Roman Empire officiated Christianity, there were actually many different versions. And it was only until the Council of Nicaea where they compiled and put together what they want Christianity to be officiated as. And before this, because there were different denominations, it was only during this period of time that they finally said, okay, this is what Christianity is going to be. And the ones who didn't make it were considered heretics. So this happened approximately in the year 324, when the Council of Nicaea convened with many different Christian denominations, and they said, okay, this is what Christianity is going to be, and there's this Nicene Creed that determined what Christianity is going to be, and all the churches from that point on had to follow this singular identity. And it wasn't until about the 60 years later where it decided to compile what is known as the canon of Christianity, which is what we know today as the Bible. Before this, there were many different stories of Jesus, like the Gospel of Thomas, for example. And it was only until after this founding of Christianity by the Roman Empire that they compiled the Bible. So the Bible that we know today actually came from the Roman Catholic Church, and ever since the split with Protestantism, the Protestants edited a little bit. They omitted like Maccabees, and that spread through Protestantism, through the Dutch colonies, through the British colonies, and eventually, after 400 years later, now Christians, they sort of don't have the roots of where the Bible came from. Well, it actually came from the Roman Empire. Before the Roman Empire, the Bible did not exist. So it was the Roman Empire that put together the compilation of the Bible as we know today. Now, there are other countries, such as Ethiopia, which have a different version of a Bible. They did not follow the Roman Catholic Church's example of the Bible. In theirs, the Old Testament actually has the Book of Enoch. And the Book of Enoch is quite an amazing read. It's very similar to the writings that you'll find in Revelations, for example, but for some reason, the Roman Catholic Church decided not to allow the Book of Enoch into the Bible, for example. And so there are so many different variations of the Bible that does exist today. However, the Bible that most Christians on earth follow, they follow from the Roman Catholic Church's example of a compilation of all the books, and Protestantism took over and brought that to the world also. Same with the Catholics. And so in general, the Bible that we know today is the same Bible as a Protestant to the Roman Catholic Bible, excluding some chapters, but was compiled by the Roman Catholic Church. The Roman Catholic Church, the Roman Empire, compiled the Bible, and that was the birth of the Bible. Now, that's not to be confused with the Torah. The Torah belongs to the Jews. The Jews, they do not have the New Testament, so they do not believe in the Christian Bible. They only have, even the Old Testament that we have of their Tanakh, their Torah, is not 100% copy. Christians only take from the Jews particular amounts of books that are in relation to the New Testament. So this is just a soft touching, a soft understanding of where the Bible came from. The Christian Bible came from the Roman Catholic Church. So in future episodes, I'll be going in depth into further chapters as to how these books came to be. Because in 2025, especially with the internet, we now have a better understanding of where these books originated from. From archaeology, we have historical findings and studies that are quite advanced nowadays, so we can pinpoint roughly how the Bible was compiled. And welcome. Thank you again for visiting my channel.